Terror in solo queue is ban. Gonna be missed. So it'll be interesting to see how draft proceeds from here. And there it is. I said both of these guys have been playing the Hui in solo queue. So Angel is gonna lock that one in. I mean, Hui can just do so much. That QW range, absolutely absurd. So many different ways to CC, so many different ways to provide utility to a team. I'm excited.
This is going to be something special. Angel bringing the Hui to the mid lane. You assume could be Nautilus top Hui support, but let's be honest, it's Hui in the mid lane. Vicla gonna go for the Orianna to try and take this control mage matchup. Oh, I don't know, is he a control mage? Maybe an artillery mage? Hard to say. Kind of straddles the line a little bit, does Hui. And RA gonna go for the Xin for Naiyou, giving in that early proactivity.
Yeah, so gonna have a lot of skirmishing power on the side of RA. You have good picks set up. It just feels like a pretty well-rounded composition for them. Now OMG looking like they're just gonna bring out the Udyr, which is gonna give them prio topside to be able to play out of and like open up at least some strong areas for XiaoFang to rely on, especially when you know that your bot lane should get pushed in so heavily. I think it would be a pretty good call for them to lock this one in. And yeah, like I said, I'm just excited to see how OMG pilots this composition. You have the burst coming out from Hui to set up for the resets from your Diego. You have consistent DPS with the Senna. This is a very different look from OMG from anything we've seen them play so far.
Yeah, the one thing that I would be concerned about is the extremely pushing bot lane from RA with a Xin Zhao alongside it. There is potential for early shenanigans down in the Ppgod. But whether or not that comes through, whether or not RA are confident enough to go for that kind of play, because I think that's the thing that's been missing for me for RA is the willingness to use and abuse those power spikes. See if they go for it. As we head towards our second series, the first game here. OMG definitely coming in as a favorite in my mind, but I would love to see RA prove me wrong.
Like you said, having that ability to play through bot, if they could really just hammer away that 2v2, have jungle constantly hovering around, there's a way for them to take this game handily.
But there's a way on the enemy team as well. Ha ha ha. Very funny joke that no other caster has made just yet. Oh wait, that's a lie. Unfortunately, that is going to be the way that it goes because we also have a bunch of players in this league called Wei and Wei Wei and a coach called Big Wei. So when Wei is played, it's inevitably going to be a pun-based nightmare for all viewers. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in, guys. There's nothing I can do about it. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah, sadly, Munch's hands are tied. I mean, again, he's going to go be the mojo merchant for TT anyway. But here we go, getting on the rift. OMG versus RA. Both these teams need a win. Now we get to see who finds it. Or not. Or we don't get to see it.
All right. Well, we had some lukewarm Gyos. We've got a level 1 pause. What more could you ask for to get you hyped up for a series? Hopefully, it's not too long. Hopefully, we'll get some information on what the pause is and/or we'll just start the game. Maybe they just realized they missed a ban.
Yeah, just now.
We're going to go back to Champ Select now.
Yeah. So we'll see what it is. Again, I'm very curious to see how this game plays out, what kind of impact Angel can have on the Hui. Not a super mobile champion, right? You do have like the speed boost coming out from, I believe it's your WQ that you know, throws the paint forward and then you get that version there, but still a lot's about kind of playing as that artillery mage in team fights, what you're able to provide. First item can be pretty strong. I wouldn't be surprised with how the team comps have panned out if he goes Luden start. I think it was Fisher who we saw going for Leandri's. But yeah, just a lot of fun things, man. I want to see more Hui in the league. Our next matchup as well, NIP and EDG, both Rookie and Fisher played Hui, so we might get even more.
Yeah, true. Opportunity, and Rookie looked good on it.
Yeah.
Rookie looked really, really good on the Hui. The amount of pressure he was putting out during that laning phase was pretty terrifying. And I feel like it's one of those champions that it's going to be a while until we see players properly mastering this champion.
Exactly.
But it does feel like we've got some players that are separating themselves from the pack when it comes to, you know, I just mentioned Rookie already. Like, the way that they use the kit, the way that they use that mana passive, but also the damage passive in general. I feel like it's kind of like, in a weird way, playing Echo, where as a new player, it's not obvious, but your passive really is all of your damage. And it feels similar to Hui, where a lot of the damage you get is going to be coming out from that passive. And we'll be looking at how well the pros can weave those passive procs in.
Exactly, and using your passive is all about chaining abilities together. Get the mark, use different ability, consume the mark, rinse and repeat. So, and it is a champion that's very reliant on skill shots. So not only do you need to have comfort in terms of mastery of the champion itself, you also have to have hands. You just have to be proficient in general and have confidence that you can do it. Angel showing that confidence here is also going to go for the Comet, which is something I like. Some people do run Airy, but I like that the slow that comes out from Comet as well sets up for some of your other abilities have an easier time to land.
So we see Naiyou actually on the top side to start us off here. XiaoFang's moved down to the bottom side for a potential invade, as Vicla will move in to get a ward onto those Raptors, maybe onto the red buff. Cube in the area, we'll spot it all happening, and there we go. Naiyou will move to the bottom side as well. I was going to say, when you've got the pushing bot lane, it does feel good to start on the bottom side and threaten the potential invade.
Yeah, I agree, right? Potential invade, even if like maybe your bot gets a good trade, is I might pause on that point, because RA, knowing they're so strong level 1, walk in and try and force XiaoFang away.
RA just walk in and say, hey, we have 280 carries and you don't. What are you going to do about it? I don't think Ppgod is going to be the winner in any of these trades at level 1. So good little invade to start us off. This wasn't even the invade I was talking about. I was talking about later on, but I like this. Naiyou, aggression to start with, and takes the blue buff away.
Yeah, so finding an advantage in jungle. They probably won't be able to translate this into too much more bot because of the amount of wards that you can see OMG have now dropped down. So Naiyou walking in anywhere else would be kind of telegraphed. But I guess if XiaoFang makes his way top and your bot lane still finds enough trades, hell, even if they know you're coming down, what could OMG do?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's going to be tough unless they can just outplay you. But yeah. I love that Assum and Zorah not pushing the wave here, just last hitting, zoning away, trying to find themselves not just a CS advantage, but an XP advantage as well. And they'll be able to crash either the third or fourth wave, go for a potential cheater recall if they want to, since Naiyou has pathed up towards that top side. He's going for the... I don't know, he's kind of going for the like level 5 route where you start chickens, clear everything, get chickens again. But you're already a camp up because of the blue buff, so I don't know if it's even necessary.
I think it's also just nice to even just set him to wrap back around towards bot side when, we can see Xiaoxu is getting pressured, but Xiaoxu actually finding such a good trade. And like you said, right, Cube being the long-time RA guy, Xiaoxu is the one who came in and replaced him. And it really does feel like Cube kind of being this, like, long-time LPL player, solid veteran, like, never really a carry, but never getting really smashed in lane. And Xiaoxu being this young, promising prospect who was a solo kill monster that first split, who has shown the ability to carry, is like such a fun dynamic to see play out.
Yeah, it really is. Like, and it's always fun to see players against their replacements, right? And
yeah,
similar story with XiaoFang and Naiyou, both coming from the top esports challenger team. And Naiyou was kind of the main guy on that roster. Yeah. And now both of them made it to the LPL, now up against each other. We'll see which one wins out the matchup here today. XiaoFang moving into the bottom side, though, as Ppgod has flash available if they want to brute force a play here. It's able to flash forwards. Look for the slow. Want to assume.
Yeah, so
I've got to be honest, I didn't expect the center to be the one flashing.
I didn't either. I feel like if he didn't, XiaoFang probably would have at least gotten one of their sums. Maybe they wouldn't have got the other flash coming through, but they do guarantee all sums coming up from RA's side. Abel is going to be vulnerable now too, so they're going to have to be careful at a potential gank from Naiyou. They do have a ward in that tri-brush, so he is going to be spotted now. If he had wrapped around all the way through bot, through a lane gank, that could have been there, but looks like RA are going to start doing when this becomes so menacing, right? Just pressuring, trying to prevent them from farming, allowing your bot lane to get plates. It doesn't even have to be about the kills.
Oh, Naiyou is going about the kills here, but he's gone too deep, rooted up as well. The Q comes in, the slow is there. He doesn't have flash in his first blood. Ppgod goes down, unfortunately, but Zorah will trade his life for it. Not even going to give it over to Abel. XiaoFang wants the goal.
Munch, they're not listening to the English broadcast. I just said it doesn't have to be about the kills. You can, just enable your bot lane, take plays, play it safe. Really not reason XiaoFang to be there.
I'm okay with it being about the kills, Lyric. whether we said it preemptively or not, I'm really okay with this being about the kills.
I am too, but
going way too deep. It has to be said. I feel like maybe just testing for the Gromp would have been the play, or maybe waiting for your bot lane to move up would have been the play. Kind of sending it. I'm a fan of the full send, but that was perhaps too full.
Yeah, again, just I think not reading.
I'm a send half full kind of guy, but that was a send half empty.
I agree. Yeah, not a lot of heart in that one, but now, funnily enough, Abel coming to the top lane.
Yeah,
He's just gonna farming on his own.
I mean, Xiaoxu's under the tower. I don't really know what we can do here.
It is going to open up for the Grubs to just be fully picked up, but again, I wonder if there's any potential for a dive to come through in bot side. It doesn't look like RA are setting up for it now, but Naiyou would be able to wrap around. You could potentially go for that and then pick up the Drake, but it looks like after going for the kills before, they're going to go for the safer option. They're not even going to risk it, even if it is a clear, 1v3 dive from our perspective. Play it for the neutral.
Yeah, the one thing you do have to be afraid of as well is just Nautilus in general. If you do go for the dive, it's pretty likely to end up being a 1-for-1, just the CC chain on whoever tanks.
I feel like without it
really
being
difficult.
6, it probably wouldn't be like that hard to make it happen. But he's getting close to 6 now.
Able to walk away from the chains. He's just going to stay top, I guess. There's Ppgod under the tower. Can they finish him off is the question. He's here. He's trying to farm. He's trying to survive. Gets the route onto Naiyou, but it's Zorah that's tanking.
Yeah, without the level 6, I mean, I really feel like there just isn't a great way for Ppgod to buy enough time. Not even really being too tanky just yet. Sadly, just drawing the short straw, right? Being told, hey, play by yourself. We're going to be able to get Souls top side and at least try to split the map and trade to win somewhere.
Yeah. I do feel like maybe you can get Ppgod to back off here, or I don't know. I'm kind of surprised at how long Abel is staying up in this top side. I suppose he's getting 3 souls from Xiaoxu.
I mean, it just
we're
seems
looking
like
towards the second play.
It just seems like they're trying to dodge the 2v2 matchup, right? Because even if those kills went down before and XiaoFang got fed, it's still not going to be, like, you're not going to be able to farm, really, in that 2v2 if Assum and Zorah are playing well. I think we saw them pressuring quite a bit before the flash and the gank did come out.
And I mean, Abel is getting many souls from Xiaoxu.
Yeah.
He's just sitting up here, hitting the tower, hitting Xiaoxu, getting the souls. He's 35 at 8 minutes into the game. Not a bad start for him in terms of the souls. I will say, scrapping early can help. Vicla forced to flash there. As Angel tries to grab him on in. And we're pretty much even in gold. This is a fun game to watch so far. This is exciting.
Yeah, both teams having interesting ideas, right? Again, I was curious to see OMG with that lane swap to get the souls on Senna. It seems like now they're saying, hey, we can't just keep giving them over all these free plates. I don't really know if having both of them here is going to change that. We can already see Assum sitting on the Vampiric Scepter as well as the dagger. We didn't mention that, but, going the on-hit route, we did see the lead tempo, so that can be expected.
Yep. I mean, so many big, beefy members of OMG that are going to be in the way. Yeah, like, you kind of have to go on hit in this kind of game.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Even just the sustain that would be coming through from the Senna that Diego and Udyr have for themselves. Like, yeah, it would be really hard to keep any meaningful poke landing as the game goes later. And OMG trying to set up a trap. We can see XiaoFang making his way over now.
Ppgod has that ultimate available. No flash for him, but the hook just... Zorah walks straight into it. The CC chain. It makes it too easy. Flash away. Can Zorah escape? No. XiaoFang flashes after him, and immediately just gets one shot. The damage from Naiyou and Assum. Where did he go?
Yeah, I mean, clearly thinking, hey, I'm going to get this reset. It doesn't even matter if enemy jungle comes down, try to go for it again, but doesn't even have the opportunity. So, still though, XiaoFang is 3-1. I was going to say now has his Sundered Sky, but Naiyou actually matching punch for punch with the fact that he's gotten up and farm. He's actually been picking up more gold than XiaoFang.
Yeah. I feel like XiaoFang kind of got baited by the Viego, the soul grab.
Oh.
Possession is the word I'm looking for. Like, he turns himself into support Ashe just as the Xiao comes into the play. And suddenly this pretty tanky Sundered Sky Viego, like he goes from reasonably tanky to suddenly I'm a support Ashe with 600 health.
I can't remember.
Just one shot.
I can't remember what game it was yesterday, but I remember that happened yesterday too, where like some Viego collected a soul under mid lane turret and went from being full HP to nothing, and it's like, God, the Viego syndrome is strong sometimes. But we can see RA gonna be able to get bot lane turret, will lose the grubs for this. So this is gonna be a 6 scrub game for OMG to pick up all of these.
I feel like it's maybe worth, honestly, for first tower 5 plate steer AD carry. Does feel really good, especially on Varus, to have that much gold slammed in. Xiaoxu, can he survive? There's a wave under. He's in trouble. Needs. Oh my god, he doesn't even get to get any other combo off.
I don't feel like there was even any like potential for the 369 level of outplay there.
No.
Getting pincered in his turret, has to deal with CC, has to deal with the damage there. And nice answer back from OMG. This game is just so close so far.
Yeah, and
400 gold.
I mean, off the back of that as well, it makes it feel a little bit like maybe the trade wasn't worth it, because now the 6 grubs is permanent and both teams got a tower with 5 plates. So that advantage off the first tower doesn't feel as significant for the side of RA. Losing out on the grubs can feel massive, especially when Udyr, not the greatest split pusher typically, but when you've got 6 grubs, he can do a lot more damage to those towers.
Yeah, and even just like the longer this game goes, once we get into the sieging turrets range, when like again Abel is really outranging people, I mean it's gonna be so annoying. So RA gonna be hoping to start finding some picks now. We're at 1 item on Naiyou and Assum now having that Blade of the Rune King. So lots to do with Zorah with these enchanted crystal arrows to start setting up her picks. But look at the bot side river bunch. Like OMG know everything.
Yeah. They're not letting anything happen here. There are a couple of wards behind them, though. So Xiaoxu or Vicla could look for a deep TP to try and contest this Drake. But OMG right now, they don't need a deep TP. They're just on the Drake, and RA struggling to find a way into contest. Ppgod threatening the engage as well. There will be a Drake apiece. OMG winning neutrals on both sides of the map.
Yeah, and it feels hard. I mean, you have like solid engage coming out with the Nautilus. The fact that this Viego already has Sundered Sky in the Kindle Gem, he's already beefy and can get resets easily. Like, even though gold's close, it definitely feels like OMG should be in the team that are in command of this wave state. Actually, an extended laning phase is like fine for RA because they had that Varus Ashe bot lane, but now that the map's a little bit more open, again, everything's just going to rely on Zorah finding some sort of arrow where other people can follow up on. And even then, your only opportunity might really be trying to set up some kind of trap play in mid.
Yeah. I feel like often as commentators we talk about the jungle support duo and like how they can impact the map. I feel like when Ashe is in play, it's more important than ever that the jungle support are working together. Not only is Ashe giving vision and information, but the ult set it all up. I'm going to hold that thought. The ult is just a massive whiff from Zorah. Xiaoxu underneath the tower. Every single TP comes in and crushing more, holds him in place as the rest of OMG finish the job. We're dashing out to safety here, and XiaoFang threatening more as Ppgod goes in. Abel gets a shield on the whole team. Naiyou finds his opportunity to dive forwards. He won't find anything more, and OMG, just back away. You've already won.
I mean, OMG had the numbers there first, right? That was the difference maker. Now gonna be able to move back. Reset's gonna have to come out, so there's potential for Assum to move mid now and maybe try and get some chip damage down onto this mid lane turret. Honestly, that might even set up for you to try and get a faster rotation in the top side if they want to go for Herald.
Yeah, it could be an angle for them. Moves into the mid lane. Where did that come from? We just went from like 0 to 100, back straight to 0 again. Like, suddenly 5 players bot from both teams after Xiaoxu trying to survive the dive.
Yeah, I mean, I like this, right? Bringing 3 members down first after midwave already got pushed in. But this is a difference maker. TPing in your Nautilus, you already have your other 4 members here. So Xiaoxu is just doomed to accept his fate. And look where Varus is on the minimap. Still nowhere close. So they're able to just exit. But Munch, I was so surprised when that hook came out. I thought, guys, we've already got our kill. They're under their turret. There's nothing else we can do. Off the back of that, some flashes have to be blown. They're just going a little bit too much. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he sort of started pressing Q before he saw the shockwave coming in and realized how chunked he was going to be. I'm not really sure. I don't think he needed to be going under the tower there. But either way, kill gained off the back of knowing Assum was stuck in the mid lane. Like you say, man advantage acquired. Dive pulled off. Xiaoxu twice now dived in this game. And that was one of the... Oh, Cube, immune CC. He's Udyr, so I think he's probably just going to be fine. Flash Shockwave. He is not going to be fine. No, I was right the first time. He is going to be fine. He's doing Udyr things. Cube just walks away.
That's like the worst thing about Udyr. You never know. Is he going to make it? I guess that's actually maybe the best thing about Udyr, because you're always left in suspense. Is he going to die or not? A lot of the times when Udyr's die, though, it feels like it doesn't really matter that much. I guess in that situation it would have, because they could have gotten a tier 2, but they didn't. And in the meantime, OMG get a Rift Herald. This mid lane turret's already close to being brought down because of the mites. So they're going to have a lot of options with how they could use this.
Angel pull back in. I'm surprised that Xiaoxu didn't commit a little bit harder, but perhaps scared Ppgod was going to roam up and set up for a counter engage there. I just want to quickly point out on the scoreboard as well. XiaoFang is insanely huge right now. He's headed towards his second item at this point and has that Herald to try and work with. Zorah, good flash, keeps himself safe, but fortunate that he was in the position where he needed to flash in the first place.
Yeah, not gonna be happy about that one. And it sucks, right? Because we were talking coming into the game of like, okay, RA's win con's really gonna be about abusing the spot lane 2v2. They were kind of able to do it, but just again, some of the tricks from OMG, swapping able to top side, getting him rolling with those souls and like getting plates of their own. Obviously, the misplay from RA towards bot side, which allowed XiaoFang to start getting big, but still, it's been kind of nice to see some of the answers back from OMG with the comp they drafted.
And great to see that they are like being creative during the game with this shotgun. Like, I feel like OMG in some games have felt a little bit lifeless. That's absolutely not the case in this game. Like, you know, like you say, with the center swap to tops, like quite a creative lane swap realistically, pairing a center with your top laner and just abandoning your support, but ultimately works out for them. These skirmishes have all been looking pretty good as well. Abel is feeling pretty strong at this point. Bloodsong, first item finished, and actually going for opportunity first item. Xiaoxu trying to chase Cube off, but in the meantime, the Herald is going to get 2 charges, and that's a hook onto Naiyou as well. Ultimate forced out. Vicla looking for a shockwave, but won't be able to find it. Ppgod, though, just caught up and taken out. Xiaoxu will answer with his own life as Assum barely gets away. XiaoFang close to going down himself. These fights feel tense. Everybody on a knife's edge. I
can't believe that Ppgod did not die in that moment. And OMG, they're going to keep going. A lot of ults have been blown on both sides. You really only have the shockwave. Does connect.
It tries to dissuade the aggression, but I don't think it's enough as Vicla stepped too far forwards, and another great hook from Ppgod as XiaoFang attacks a couple of towers for a QW. I'm not sure that's quite worth, but either way, tier 2 taken, and now we can head over to our second Drake. And this game went from being like punch for punch to a 4K goldie for OMG. We're going to see how everything starts here. Great hook from Ppgod. He just looks so much more confident on these engaged champions. But it's the re-engage that's actually surprising, hoping they can burn him down, but the shield comes through. He gets away, and then nice stun coming out from Angel to guarantee the win. I believe Abel's root was kind of chained up with that, blocking Xiaoxu down even longer than he'd hoped. Fantastic game so far from pretty much the whole squad on OMG, honestly. And I mean, the biggest criticism that I had towards OMG coming into this one was about coordination, was about working together, being on the same page. It does feel like that has changed as of right now. We're only 19 minutes in. I don't want to call it before it's happened, but it does feel like OMG are looking better right now than they have all split, honestly. Yeah, this game so far, and again, we will sadly not able to connect again. Oh, interrupts on the Q. Xiaoxu sets it up for his team, but Ppgod, he gets into the shroud. Oh no, it's a disaster. It looks so good. I love it. Ppgod always finds a way to survive. This man not going to be brought down. I mean, does have 2 deaths, but the fact that he survived these last 2 is quite insane. Xiaoxu doing his best, but it meaning nothing. Yeah, tough one. That sucks for Xiaoxu as well, because he played it really well. I feel like he deserved the kill there, you know, but unfortunately, that's not how League of Legends works. It's not just about whether or not you reckon you deserve the kill. It's about whether or not you can finish the kill. Angel moving up to the top side now. As OMG, they're going to use this prio that they can get bot with the Udyr to set up for a potential Baron.
Also, kind of surprisingly, it looks like Angel's probably making his way to his Horizon focus next, but even just buying the Verdant just for a bit more safety up against Vicla.
Trying to find Vicla, but dodges the root.
I guess even just trying to get closer to his Banshee so he can not be a target of those Enchanted Crystal Arrows. So I guess I'm curious to see which one he finishes off next.
To see. Zorah is kind of low. Ppgod scary. Great hook from Ppgod to get himself out to safety again. The Udyr ult is just burning through everyone, and Naiyou suddenly finds himself 1 HP. XiaoFang trying to chase for more. If Naiyou goes down, that's the resets for XiaoFang here. Has the opportunity to get his ult back on up, but the damage is turning around. Xiaoxu flashes into the middle of everyone to turn it on its head. Triple for Xiaoxu as he slams OMG into the ground. A quadra kill, and only Abel surviving. I don't know if he can close the gap on the center. Abel wants to turn it, dodges the Q, denies it, and it's Angel with a triple at the end of it all as well.
Still Xiaoxu, this exciting young top lane prospect. We were so excited when he came into the league last year, and now keeping up performance again, going up against the top laner that he replaced in Cube and absolutely popping off.
Mental stuff from Xiaoxu, and it felt like RA were on the back foot, but then suddenly they pounce.
I gotta see how they came back as well, because Ppgod, they're throwing everything at Ppgod, but his Qs have been so good. He's always able to escape. Great ult coming out from Abel. But it's gonna be here where they're just trying to run Naiyou down, buying space. I was worried because no one here is hitting the backline of RA really, but it's this flash in, and even just the autos to start it off, finding those first 2 kills. And just the damage coming out from his Profane Hydra to really get things going. I guess OMG's comp isn't really all that inherently tanky yet, but much for going again.
Ppgod's caught again, and this time he can't hook himself out. Xiaoxu is here on the front line. I don't know if they can look for anything more. It's difficult to find more outside of just the Ashul, but another pick here for RA.
Now they're doing a nice job. 5 kills on the Aatrox, having the Sereldas, so he is gonna do a lot to Abel, to Angel. Even XiaoFang isn't that tanky yet. Cube can be an annoyance, but I mean, with the amount of kills and gold he's racking up now, like, this Aatrox is gonna get massive.
It certainly is. 2 items at this point, and that's only gonna get worse for the side of OMG. Somebody has to deal with him. And we saw Abel can space it, right? We saw at the end of the fight that it's difficult for him to get onto Abel, so perhaps that is the shining light at the end of the tunnel for the side of OMG, that maybe Abel can bring the Aatrox down. But when everyone else is pretty much melee, like the Viego, the Nautilus, the Udyr, plenty of targets for Xiaoxu to sustain up on.
Yeah, it really makes it easy. I do want to point out, because it's been kind of lost in the chaos of just how crazy a lot of these fights have been, of like Angel kind of also sneakily getting pretty big, also finally finishes Horizon Focus.
Oh no, Xiaoxu's been found, he's been the hero. But when he's caught out at the start of the fight, there's nothing that RA can do about it. I mean, that's just going to be Drake, right?
That's like
There's no contest available.
That has to be one of the most like anticlimactic picks there was, because like you said, this man was the hero. This man was the strength of the team. All the gold being funneled into him pretty much at this point with those kills. So now, for OMG, going to get themselves on Soul Point. RA, I like they're at least quickly trying to transition up the top side to find a trade.
I feel like this is the way that modern Aatrox works as well, right? Where, you know, we're past the Gore Drinker era where you can just position wherever you like and be invincible for 20 minutes while your team catches up to you. You still have to position a lot of the time pretty aggressively. Some of the most successful Aatrox plays we've seen this year have been like deep flanks where someone sneaks in behind the enemy lines. But now if you get caught out, you get one shot. Like, you're so squishy. So does feel like Aatrox is a much more feast or famine pick than he ever was before.
I mean, especially, right, like you're saying, like no Gore Drinker, no things like this to give you even more sustained Profane Hydro, a lot more being about the assassination potential, not just with the lethality, right, but with the active it has doing more damage against people with lower health, so, you know, semi-functioning as an execute in a way. Obviously having the Cerebels on top of that, like, you really are just kind of this giant glass cannon. Luckily, you are innately, like, tanky enough from being a bruiser that you last a little bit long. But like you said, anytime Ppgod isolates him, like we saw just now, he is going down.
Yeah. There is a pop-up on the screen next to Abel that says 100. I don't know Mandarin, but I'm saying that means he just hit 100 souls. I think that is the easiest logic to follow on what would pop up during the game saying 100. To Abel, big spike if that is the case. I kind of want them to click on him now, so I can confirm that. But
what if he's just walked past the Raptor camp 100 times in his career, huh? You ever think about that?
I do wonder whether or not we have the statistical capabilities to track that. As someone who's seen the stats the LPL is working with, I can tell you we don't.
We do got some random stats in there, though. You don't know how many Gromps some mid laners taken? You know what I mean? We can find out.
Yeah, true. We don't know walked past, but we know taken. We know taken. RA grouping up on the bottom side of the river here. Drake is not up. And, I mean, this is just OMG easily taking mid-prio for themselves. They can move up towards the Baron here.
Yeah.
And RA kind of have to answer. But look at this. Abel actually escorting the wave in to threaten the mid in here. Force RA all the way back before we move back over to the Baron area.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't just turn more immediately. Complete vision control, as we can see now. Pull them out, try and set up for a pick. They have great turn potential with the Nautilus.
Big damage, great pull onto Vicla. The crushing maw keeps him locked up. And an easy pick for OMG. Great use of the vision. Complete control there. The arrow is going to hit, but it's not really going to do much against Abel. And now we just move back over to the Baron. Rinse and repeat. This time Naiyou will have to move in to try and steal or just concede the objective.
And I feel like they're still incredibly strong. Hell, Angel even still has his ultimate up. That hasn't been used yet. Plays fair bit of damage. We'll see if they opt into contest. Looks like they're not going to. I was gonna say, thank God they're not. Like, just the fact that they're poking their heads into the brush. I'm like, okay, please just be zoning them off. Please don't be going for anything crazy. They're not. So get a bit of gold back in their pockets. It is a nice silver lining to see teams make those trades. Again, RA have been trying to find opportunities, just not able to work out so far.
Let's take another look. I mean, there's not really a lot to look at in this replay. They just stack in the brush, and Vicla, unfortunately,
just a great hook.
Oh, he thought he was behind Naiyou there, I think, as well.
Yeah, but again, Ppgod being so decisive. I mean, this is the Ppgod that you want to see, right? This is the player that a lot of people found hype, and even if he has been the one to kind of go down consistently in this game, he is like taking every shot he could to find and engage. And it's really working out for OMG. Still 5K gold lead up. Again, they've been at soul point. Now having to spare, they're going to be able to maintain prio. They have 6 scrubs, so they have to worry about the mites and the siege that we were talking about earlier. Like, RA, it's looking pretty hard.
We're at the really scary point for the Senate as well, as we're going to go in. Naiyou having to use his ult. I got confirmed, Sheen messaged me. It is 100 stacks. That's what the pop-up was. He's now on 123, so 2 stacks away from another big spike here for the Senna. We're getting to the point where, in fact, there's those 2 souls. We're getting to the point now where the Senna is going to be pretty much hitting from a full screen away. And this isn't even with a rapid-fire cannon. Who needs a rapid-fire cannon?
Yeah. Not going to need it at all. They're just going to keep the siege up. Look at the mini-map. We finally might have Xiaoxu start heading over, but RA are not really too bothered about this at all.
Yeah. And remember those 6 grubs that OMG got early on in the game? This is where they pay off. Zorah almost getting one shot. And Angel, I don't even know how he got that kill, to be honest. It must have been scorching play or something as the shield died, but either way, it's a kill, and a kill is all that matters. Zorah down for 30 seconds. Are OMG actually just going to end the game here? Slowly but surely whittling away.
Now they're going for Xiaoxu. Xiaoxu's trying to find the perfect flank, but it doesn't seem like the perfect flank is going to come. You just got to send it, guys.
Yeah, and there we go. All in from Ppgod. Assum will be next to go down, and RA, Xiaoxu, he did a valiant job to try and fight back in the mid-game, but that is an ace, and that is a confident OMG taking game 1.
And that was a very coordinated game, right? Because hell, I was trying my hardest to see like what kind of individual impact that this way would have. But this whole game was pretty much these giant death ball 5v5s where everyone is just throwing everything they have at the start of the team fight. It was nice to see that coordination, that cohesion coming out from OMG, finally.
Yeah, fantastic. And, you know, I'm the kind of caster that is always wanting more action. I always try and promote teams going aggressive and doing something crazy. In the case of OMG and this team succeeding this year, I like that it was a bit slower. I like that they were decisive when there was an opportunity, but not just ridiculous, not just going in for the sake of going in, not just fighting for the sake of fighting. They played it slow enough, but still decisive and still to their win conditions. I'm here for it. OMG looking way better than they have all split, honestly. Fantastic game number 1. We're going to jump into a break, and then we'll find out if RA can come back, or if OMG are just going to give us a little